Hello everybody. Today in front of me we have a limited edition official Bell replica helmet from the year Nico Rosberg became world champion. Now, this helmet doesn't just represent his world championship, it also represents one of the most toxic, dramatic, and heartbreaking team rivalries ever.
Grip that Rosberg has got. Oh!
Inside at about 7th, and Hamilton looks to have forced his teammate.
Coming off there is Sergio Perez, and the Force India.
His teammate's got the inside line, they've touched again!
Because it wasn't just that Nico had to beat Ferrari, and it wasn't just him trying to plot against Red Bull. He also had to beat his childhood best friend and teammate, Lewis Hamilton. Today, we're going to be talking about 2016 Mercedes and Brocedes, as they called it.
We're always friends, we've been friends.
See, Nico and Lewis actually go back way further than people realize, having karted together as young kids and actually rooming together when they were in high school to then joining the same team in 2013. At that point, the two had a pretty amicable relationship, but that relationship started to show fissures in and around Spa 2014. Now, during the Spa 2014 race, when trying to overtake, Rosberg ended up clipping and puncturing Lewis Hamilton's rear tire, which caused them both to need to retire from the race.
But Hamilton hasn't got the grip that Rosberg has got.
Oh, and to be fair, Hamilton has actually got more of a front wing now. He's got to puncture Lewis Hamilton.
This moment is where we start to see cracks in that long-standing friendship as they were trying to compete not only with each other, but also against each other. Now, 2015 didn't help either, because in order to seal the championship at the USA Grand Prix, Lewis Hamilton had to muscle Rosberg in the first corner, allowing him to seal the championship for himself, but leaving a bitter taste in Rosberg's mouth.
Verstappen into the inside at about 7th, and Hamilton looks to have forced his teammate wide again. And
So come 2016, it was all-out war. Now, in 2016, Rosberg came out swinging, securing 4 consecutive victories in Australia, Bahrain, China, and Russia. This allowed him to really fortify his lead and put himself in near untouchable territory. Meanwhile, Hamilton was a little bit unsettled, fighting with his car and trying to make sure that all the technical aspects were correct. Now, you could see that there was a lot of deceit between the two, and this really came to a head during Spain 2016. So now, lap 1 in Barcelona, what ended up happening was something that will haunt these two drivers forever. Lewis Hamilton, after having a better launch, was trying to push the pace on Nico Rosberg, who was leading through turn 4. Now, Nico Rosberg, in the wrong drive mode allegedly, had seen Lewis Hamilton trying to take the inside and had drifted over. Now, this drift over ended up forcing Lewis Hamilton off into the grass and ended with the two drivers colliding at the apex of the turn.
it's Nico Rosberg, and Hamilton's onto the grass, and Hamilton's had a massive crash, and he's crashed into his teammate. The two Mercedes come together.
Both cars ended up getting retired, and this actually allowed for the maiden victory of Max Verstappen. Now, both drivers ended up getting charged over £300,000 each in order to cover damages caused by the negligent driving on both behalf. Now, Mercedes was so livid at the two drivers that they had imposed a fine of a combined £720,000. Completely unnecessary, but necessary in order to tell these drivers to play nice a little bit. However, the rest of the season just kept seeing this animosity grow, and Toto later would admit that he wishes he stepped in earlier after seeing what conflict was going on between the two drivers. Now, as the season continued to carry on, Hamilton had seen success in the mid-stretch, getting wins at Monaco and Montreal, but Rosberg wasn't done, and when it came to Baku and the back half of the races, he was able to continue to claim victory, all until it comes to a head at Abu Dhabi. Now, at Abu Dhabi, Lewis Hamilton knew he needed first in order to win, but Rosberg actually only needed second to become the world champion that year. So Lewis Hamilton's strategy was very deliberate and was very, very predicated on hoping that this young gun Max Verstappen might be able to take his place. He decided to slow the pace of the entire race down. His thinking being if he can slow the pace, it would allow other competitors in order to take over that second position so that he has a better chance of winning the World Championship title. Unfortunately, Rosberg held very firm. He was able to stay in his second place position ultimately throughout the entire race, claiming the World Championship at the end of Abu Dhabi. Now, the two drivers today would claim to be friends, and I'm sure they've gotten over their differences, but there are very few rivalries that are left in the minds of the consumers and that really hold as much gravity and held as much competition as these two. While the Senna and Prost rivalry of 89 and 90, we saw great competition, there was nothing like seeing the former world championship in Ayrton Senna get bested by not only his teammate, but also his best friend. Now, after this season, Nico Rosberg announced a surprise retirement. He was able to go, he won the world championship title, and did everything he had hoped to do. And so after that, he was ready to just step away, and now you see him on Sky TV doing interviews and commentary on F1. What makes this helmet so special isn't just that it's from Nico Rosberg's championship season. It's the fact that it's from a season that nearly ended a friendship, got two drivers fired, and finished with one of the most shocking retirements of the modern era. This is Brocedes 2016.